Cat Black here. Conservative political correctness. In the wake of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, TPUSA CEO, an interesting proposal was floated by one of the congressional delegation members from Louisiana. Congressman Higgins would like to see social media moguls unite with the right wing of the United States government to ban for life anyone who makes disparaging comments about the recently deceased conservative influencer. I have to pause for a moment. Again, I'm a brother who's neither left nor right, but I am black. And in the context of that experience, the denigrating, degrading, debasing statements that broad segments of the conservative movement have made about Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Mr. Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Minister Farrakhan, Dr. King. In fact, one individual was so egregious in his statement on the day that Dr. King was assassinated in 1968 that it caused future Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas to choose the legal profession and eschew the seminary where he was training to be a Catholic priest. One of his fellow priests in training, upon hearing that Dr. King had been assassinated, said, "Good, I hope the SOB dies." He wasn't kicked out of school. He wasn't punished. It's very interesting. The double standard at work. Not that it's surprising, because the double standard, to be candid, has been the only standard. I think that for people who may be unfamiliar with conflict and existential opposition, here's an FYI. People don't like each other sometimes, whether in life or in death. And there is no legal requirement that one abase oneself in the passing, or in this instance, the murder of someone whom you may have considered to be an enemy. I recall from the 1980s, at least forward, definitely 1990s, with the rise of terrestrial corporate conservative radio, how hosts, congressmen, pundits, theoreticians in right-wing think tanks, etc., spent no small amount of time denouncing leftist speech bans, political correctness, and projecting forward into the 21st century. We were treated to what happens when the left gets the levers of power in a digital age, and went on an orgy of deplatforming and banning and shadow banning and even debanking, all in the name of authoritarian thought control. I have to ask, against the backdrop of my history and the backdrop of leftist history and allegedly right-wing opposition to government overreach, is conservative political correctness somehow better than left-wing political correctness?